What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, as you've guessed it on the title of the video, Brawl Talk is coming literally in a day's time. We'll have Brawl Talk, which is big hype. A lot of people not really expecting Brawl Talk this close because I think there's like 2 weeks left of the season. So a bit of a surprise that they're actually releasing Brawl Talk so early. We're going to be diving into some stuff, giving you guys my thoughts on what could be inside of Brawl Talk, and obviously what Supercell have already hinted towards us already. So straight away looking at this tweet then. So they tweeted out about an hour ago, well, a couple of hours ago or so, this picture. So you can always grab a lot of things from the Brawl art throughout the few weeks leading up to Brawl Talk. I've already watched a ton of videos on everyone's speculations about the update. A lot of people think it'll be like a raccoon type of brawler, but we'll jump into that in a second. So there's quite a few things we can dive into straight away then. So you've got this creepy bus in the background where you can see that cat that seems to, I think, peer in quite a few of the other arts, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'm not really a YouTuber that completely covers these sneak peeks, Brawl news kind of thing, so I'm not 100% in the know of all these arts and how they kind of link. So as you can see in the bus, we see, I think, is that a bat or something upside down? I don't even know what that is. We see like a weird skin. I don't know if that's like a weird spike skin, or I don't even know what that figure is. And then it looks like that looks like the top of Sally Nanny, so not too sure what that kind of entails, but it is another creepy bus, and it's basically confirmed that we're going to be getting like an underground theme for the next update, because there's been a lot of graphics with the kind of underground theme, and that's where Gus was actually, that's where his character kind of developed. So it'd be pretty wise to say that it's going to be that environment for next time. So we see a few brawlers in the crowd right here watching this movie, whatever. So it's obviously in the theater, right? So we see, I'm guessing that's Ash, just because, you know, it's square, right? It's literally like a trash can. You also see a Fang, I think, and definitely a Janet. So these brawlers, I'm going to guess that they're probably going to get some type of new skin. Normally when they're in some type of graphic, they're getting some type of new skin, rework, I don't know, but definitely probably going to be a skin for these brawlers, because we're not obviously expecting a rework. So scrolling into other parts then, so we see a poster of Kill Bull. I think that is a movie reference, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I've seen a few people put that already, but it's like a weird Piper skin that we could be seeing, not entirely sure. It kind of looks like a Janet in well, Piper in a Janet costume, which is pretty funny. We also see a Squeak First Blob, which could be a new skin. We'll have to wait and see for that one, but that is pretty cool. We also have quite a few of, I don't even know what you call it, I think these are just tapes, right? But we see the title of them on the side. So we have Bibiana Jones, which is quite hilarious. We have Grom Matrix, I think, which obviously it's like a play on other movies. We have a Gold Hand, which is obviously about Belle. I'm trying to think of other ones. Squeak Busters, quite funny. So it's obvious that it's going to be a big Halloween themed update. It always is this time around. Halloween's only a week or so away. We've got Count Pangula, so I feel like there might be hinting towards the return of the old Halloween skins as well. You know, it's pretty common that these seasonal skins come back. We've got Count Pangula of Rejected Brawlers. I have no idea what that could mean. We also have the Headless Stuntman, I believe that looks like, because it says man and then T at the end. So yeah, again hinting towards that Stu skin. And then I'm not too sure what this could mean. So that says, it looks like saying Brawlers Season 1, which with a Star Park logo. That is pretty creepy to me. So that is just looking at the graphic right there. Let me know whether you actually picked up anything else, but that's all I could really figure before obviously recording here. We've obviously got this thing here, but I don't know what that really means. But by the main graphic, it's looking like it's going to be, of course, Halloween themed around Gus's environment, but there's still a few more things we need to dive into. Okay, so just before we quickly look at the title and the thumbnail of Brawl Talk, I'm just going to open this pin pack really fast, just because why not? And unfortunately they're not actually animated, but we want to collect every single pin, so why not? So you see literally on the front screen of Brawl Stars, you see it ends in 23 hours 40 minutes. So we see that's literally the new brawler. When you click the link, it'll of course take you to the Brawl Talk, which is premiering in 23 hours time. I also seen on Twitter that I think Brawl Talk is, I'll pop it on the screen just so you guys don't miss it. I think it's 6 minutes 59, I think, which goes to show it's going to be somewhat of a long Brawl Talk. 7 minutes is normally a longish Brawl Talk. You know, they do a lot of like cosplays normally and fun stuff like that, but I'd say that's more of the longer side of Brawl Talk. So probably expect quite a few things with this update. And you see by the title then, so we have a Brawl Talk Gears rework, which is the one thing they said already which we're going to do, so we already know about that. The fact that scrap's just going to be completely removed and it's going to be for coins, we already knew all that stuff. We have shield brawler and then more. So shield brawler, this is a really cool aspect. I'll probably show it in a second, some gameplay of a brawler, well, of a character which I don't really play too much Overwatch, but I've always known of him, called Reinhardt. So Reinhardt is a shield, I don't even know what you call it, like a character or something, but basically one of his main abilities is to place a shield in front of him, and this is what I kind of imagine like that concept coming to Brawl Stars, right? So probably expect a brawler, well, the brawler's going to be on the right hand side. He looks very tanky, right? So expect him to be pretty tanky with a shield that he places in front of him, which is going to block a lot of projectiles, right? But of course, one of the main drawbacks about this shield is that you can't obviously shoot when you're putting it out in front of you, and also you're probably going to be like slower. That's normally like the drawback with these shields. Like, you're going to give yourself that extra bit of HP protection as well as your teammates, but you're going to be slower. So if you guys aren't aware, just Google Reinhardt on Overwatch. It's probably going to be pretty similar to that because they seem to share a lot of the same concepts. And also, just a quick one before we get into some brawlers that you're looking to push before the update, look at this penny skin. So penny skin, I'll put it on the screen in some higher definition for you guys in case you're wondering, but that is definitely a penny skin. At first I was kind of wondering like what brawler that could be, but it's pretty obvious just by the eye. And let me know whether you like that skin or not, because Twitter seemed to be roasting that skin pretty hard. I actually like it. I think it'd be a pretty cool skin, as long as it's not like that really ugly M skin that you can purchase for star points. I'll be pretty happy because I really like the cool, I think it's like a raccoon or something, and next to it, I think that's a pretty cool aspect. So that's going to be all the breakdown of Brawl Talk. I'll continue to talk about it as I play some games. Alright guys, so jumping into the first brawler, which I recommend pushing as soon as possible. He's surely due a massive nerf. It is Poco. So although in competitive play, Poco is counted quite a fair bit, I feel like in ladder, Poco is running absolutely wild. He's such an incredibly strong brawler. He's good against pretty much everything. I don't know how Mortis didn't score there, by the way. That is pretty hilarious. But yeah, Poco has to receive some type of nerf. He just destroys everyone. Like, when Poco starts becoming a more DPS brawler rather than a healer, then you guys know it's going to be a big problem. So let me know what your expectations are for Brawl Talk in the comment section below. I think this update, just by the title, you can see that it's going to be really geared towards the update. I mean, I didn't really even mean to be any type of cliche there, but it's definitely going to be geared towards that gear rework, because we've been talking about it in the road map, that the next update was going to be more centric around that, and then next updates to come, there's going to be another, like a ton of other ideas, like changing the way that boxes work. There can be a ton of other new stuff as well. So of course, by the title you can literally see, we've got it on my left hand side just in case I need a reminder: gears, rework, shield brawler, and more. Normally, if there's anything bigger, they tend to put it in the title. I mean, maybe expect a few things that are quite secret, but again, I think the main point of this is just getting gears reworked. It is a huge task for them to get it completely reworked. You know, it's such a massive economy change, specifically changing those scrap tokens to coins now, which we already knew from previous Brawl Talk as well. Just everyone, I don't know what everyone was really doing in terms of their progression. For the most part, I was just saving my gear tokens and scraps, because I weren't really sure how they'd convert to coins. Like, is the conversion rate really good? Is it going to be pretty fair across the board? That's what I'm kind of waiting to see with this one, but I'm all for it, just because gears have always been a frustrating thing. Any type of rework is going to be really nice for them. So I was going to actually end that there, but I don't know how that ball hasn't made it in. But just look at Poco go. If you can chain off your super with just 2 shots, if you hit, of course, like 3 enemies with every shot, you're going to charge it literally every single time. It's just crazy. Poco is so incredibly broken. Making sure that you're pushing him ASAP. Let's hop into the final brawler. You should be pushing straight away. Alright guys, so jumping into the final brawler, which I think is definitely going to get some type of nerf with the next balance changes. It has to be Sam, right? So Sam, in competitive, again, he isn't completely overwhelming everything, but when it comes down to ladder and just, I don't know, I've seen it so many times in showdown, in duels, this brawler is completely broken with his star power. So I expect a heavy nerf with his star power. It's so incredibly broken. Probably not the most broken thing inside of the game right now. Definitely the best star power in the game as well. And it's making Sam way too strong. Of course, you don't want to nerf it too much, else I feel like he could be a really bad brawler. But you know, it's so overwhelming. Like, there's no reason to even try the other star power just because of how strong this one is. I'm excited to see how they actually change it. So hopefully his star power is pretty interchangeable. Obviously, I don't want them to completely kill it, so it's going to run into my super right here. We've got two brawlers literally shooting at us, and we're just healing up the amount of damage that we're receiving with this star power. It's just insane, so incredibly broken. I'm going to use the gadget so the Frank can shoot straight through him. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm not too good at like predicting Brawl Talk, to be honest, like coming up with really imaginative ideas. I just hope that they actually surprise us with something a little bit different. You know, there's a lot of different features that they can add to the game, right? They can add like new brawl boxes, they can add like the masteries that they briefly spoke about, like what hinted towards in the last Brawl Talk. I want them to maybe like revamp ladder, want them to do a ton of different things. Of course, I can't just do it in one update, but I want at least something as a surprise, right? I want something to grind towards, because, you know, it's been kind of the same idea of the game for a long time, other than Power League, of course. Like, ladder's always been like the same thing, same with boxes as well. It's always been the same. I don't even like this will be a big thing as well. Not too many people talk about it really, but I would like a change to the Brawl Pass, because it's kind of been the same thing ever since it was introduced, right? 70 levels, it's just the same. You know, it doesn't really excite me going through the Brawl Pass anymore. You know, the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 seasons, I was still really excited to unlock the stuff, but now it just seems a bit meh. So hopefully they can change this sometime in the future as well. They've got also the XP road as well. You know, I'm kind of rambling on here, but there's a ton of things that they can change, which can hopefully freshen up the game a fair bit. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.